Hi all, welcome to my channel. I am Amila and this is Staying Forever Young Naturally, where I share wisdom that I've gathered along my journey of my life that universally keep us youthful, and with the youth it keeps us healthy, and all the information that I share is natural, right? So on today's episode, I want to talk about the wisdom that the elders had and displayed to us when we were children, right? And I'm specifically going to talk about my grandma, which I thought was maybe strange at one time, but now that I am an adult, right, and I have an adult child, I understand that what they were, the information that my grandma was showing me, or that the elders was presenting to us, was wisdom. And now that wisdom can be backed up based on metaphysical information and scientific, right? So the other night I was having just last night I was having a conversation with my sister, and I told her, so when we were little, my grandma, when it was time to eat watermelon, and you guys put a comment, or make a comment if this was your grandma or the older people as well in your family when you were little. I love watermelon, love it, right? To this day, when it's summertime, I OD on watermelon. I love it. I love it because it's crisp, it's refreshing, and it's sweet, right? And sometimes that sweetness it hit right. Well, when I was little, I noticed that when my grandma and all the other elders, whether they were from here in America or say from the islands, or I would just say here or from the islands, because I don't remember having interactions with any other elders outside of that demographic, right? When they would have watermelon, I noticed that they would put a little salt on their watermelon, so when they ate it, they got the sweet and they got the salty, right? And for me, I just thought that was like blasphemy in my little child mind. Like, why would you want to camouflage the sweetness of beautiful, juicy watermelon? Like, I don't understand the old people. In my mind, I was like, have they lost their mind? I don't understand. Sorry, guys. I never asked questions. I just grew and like, okay, whatever. Do you know, I was telling my sister last night, the other day, because it's summertime, right? And where I live and where I come from, my hometown, it can get anywhere. And well, just say it's in the triple digits, and summertime here would be more triple digits than not, right? I Googled the other day, what is watermelon a great way to hydrate yourself? And Google said yes, but do you know what Google said in addition to that yes? Google said if you want to replace all of the electrolytes that you lost from sweating, if you put a little bit of salt on that watermelon, you will have a complete replacement of your electrolytes. Go Google it yourself. And that just kind of solidified and blew me away at the same time. And it started me to kind of just think about all the wisdom that I was picking up from my grandma and all of the elders that were around me, and I didn't even realize that, right? So number one is salt on the watermelon will definitely hydrate you and replace the electrolytes that you lose when you're sweating in the sun or working hard. Okay, and it's all natural, all natural. All right, number two, the number two, I would say, item that I used to watch my grandma partake in. If someone gave her something, if it was money, if it was a article, a clothing, something tangible, if she did not feel that that giving was coming from a good place, if something in her intuition started to, I guess, peak, or something was off with the giving, even though it may have been displayed that it was given in good faith, and it may have, for the most part, given in good faith, but maybe sometimes there's other things attached to it that the person that's giving it is not really aware of themselves. My grandma would accept the item, and it's only for specific people. Certain people she wouldn't even accept. But if she did accept an item and she was on the fence about it, she would take that item, whether it was money or some other type of tangible article, like I said, and she would wrap it in salt, and she would sit it aside for a couple of days. And then if she felt like it was safe or okay to actually receive that money or receive that article, she would. I found that to be, like, when I was young, I didn't understand. I'm like, why is she doing that? What's going on? I would ask my mom, and I remember my mom really giving me the science behind it. She would just say, well, you know, something seems off with the I guess, giving. So just to make sure, salt is the mechanism that she used to, how did my mom put it? Salt is what she used to make sure everything is okay. Now, fast forward to now, right? Everyone knows that salt is not only just good for, and I've done videos on salt, just good for physical, it's a spiritual cleanser as well. So if anyone gives you anything and you feel like there's some energy attached to it that may not be balanced, right? If you put some salt on it or let it sit in salt, or better yet, if you go and buy a gemstone and you want to cleanse the energy off of that particular gemstone because you're not sure who's been touching it and you want it as clear as possible before you start to work with it, metaphysical science says, sit that stone in some salt, right? You can do it under the full moon, or you just can sit it in some salt for a couple of days, and that salt would clear that energy. Who knew, right? Who knew? So number 2 is salt with receiving items where you feel like something just not right, something is attached to it that may not be safe for you, whether it's physically or spiritually, but more so spiritually, right? So number 3, the third item I want to talk about is, this is funny. When my grandma felt ill, and when I say felt ill, I'm meaning like if she felt like, if she ate something bad, or if she was having some type of stomach problem, or just didn't feel well as far as putting something in that didn't sit right with her, in order for her to make herself feel better, she had to sleep on the floor. Yes, you heard me correctly. She could not get in the bed. She could not sit on the couch, in the chair. She had to put her body on the floor and sleep until she felt better. And as a kid, of course, I did not understand that. Did not understand it at all. It made no sense. So in my mind, that's just another crazy thing that my grandma is doing. And, I didn't even question what was behind it. All I know is if she didn't feel good, she was sleeping on the floor. Or if she was sleeping on the floor, I knew she didn't feel good. And once she was back in the bed, that means that she felt better. Fast forward to today, what is that? Grounding. If you don't feel good, grounding. Sleeping on the floor, even though it's not outside, it's still on the floor. And so because it's still on the floor, you're close to the earth still can pull out whatever is negative in your body and neutralize it, and then put those negative ions back into your body, in your system, and those negative ions act as a positive frequency to heal your body. And that's the science behind her sleeping on the floor. And it's so, like, I need to start, maybe if I don't, next time I find myself not feeling well, I'm going to sleep on the floor to see if that will make a difference. For me, sleeping on the floor, the bones don't feel right after that. But you know what? I'm going to try it again. My son, naturally, when he do not feel good, if he's been throwing up, if he has, diarrhea, he has to automatically take all his clothes off and sleep on the floor until he's better. So he's definitely inherited that from my grandma, and he never even questioned it. That's just something that he was divinely led to do, and that's what he does naturally in order to make himself feel better. So number 3 is sleeping on the floor, or getting on the floor when you don't feel good, in order to ground whatever is causing your body to be off, right? Sleeping on the floor to ground so you can feel better, right? So I guess, what's that saying? The foolish things of man is the wiser things of God. So in this instance, what I thought was the foolish things of older people is actually the wisdom of a universal people, right? And that's the beauty of it. The more you grow and internalize all the wisdom that you accumulated over the years, right? Over your years, the more you realize that there's nothing new under the sun. Universally, a truth is a truth. And the elders really did know what they were doing and what they were talking about. And if we just use half of what they had, with us being a more advanced human in a well, I wouldn't say technically, but with us being a more advanced human in a form of spiritual, right? We just don't understand. Well, I'm not going to say that. We do automatically have an understanding of wisdom, but for us, if we think of our body as technology, we are more advanced. So if we take what they showed us, right, and mimic with what we already know intuitively, universally, we are going to be some amazing, heightened, ascended individual. So just think of what our children and children is going to be, right? So I just wanted to share that and give a little shout out to my grandma, who's not here anymore, but she did live to be 94 or 96. I can't remember. It's been a while. Long livers. Shout out to my grandma, Rivers. I love you, Rivers. I see what you were doing now. And shout out to all of the women that she came from, that matriarch lineage, because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here right now sharing this wisdom or have just my existence. So I'm giving shout out to the elders because I feel like we don't do that enough and recognize them for who they are, as well as recognize us for who we are and what we bring to this human game as well. Okay, so if you guys remember when you were young and there was things that the elders did, your grandma or even your grandpas did, that you felt was kind of strange, off, and crazy, but you understand it now, put a comment, right? Share it in the comments. Until then, you guys stay whole, stay balanced, stay full of wisdom. I love you. See you on the next one. Mwah, 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 mwah. Bye.